This is my 2003 Terminator Cobra Mustang. And it is my wife's favorite sounding car.
It's awesome.
Out of my entire fleet, and I have some pretty good sounding cars. The last one was my wife's twin-turbo Coyote Mustang, but I'm pretty sure she likes this one more than that one. Which I'm good with, because after seeing the Cobra sitting in the auction lot for the first time, I fell in love too, and so did my son. Are you okay with not going to college?
Yes.
Now, the car was listed as having an engine issue, and it was starting to overheat at the auction. After some investigation at LegitStreetCars, I found someone swapped the radiator cap and the intercooler cap. Since the pressures are different on these caps, the coolant was boiling over, causing it to overheat. I got super lucky, fixed that for free, and then took my wife out for a cruise. And then, after fighting a valve cover for 3 hours, I even found out that this engine already had head studs. Now, the Cobra is running really, really good. I even brought it over to the lake garage, but in the last video, I did start to smell some clutch. It's functioning well, but I gotta fix something with the clutch, so this is a perfect time to teach my wife how to drive stick shift, because really low-end, torquey stick shift cars are easy to learn on. You remember on the G-Wagon, clutch in,
Got it.
first gear.
Got it.
All right, feather the gas and the clutch, you got this. Oh, she's a pro. All right, let's see second gear.
All right.
Clutch in. Bam. Bam. She's cruising.
I'm cruising.
How much easier than the G-Wagon?
So much better.
So much better, right? I told you. I tried teaching her in like a 100 horsepower 1980 G-Wagon.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
That's very difficult. You need low-end V8 supercharged power to teach your wife how to drive stick. Isn't it easy once you get going?
Yes.
All right, guys, my wife basically knows how to drive stick. Obviously, we're gonna have her drive all the other stick cars and really practice with some power. Oh my gosh. She likes the handling of the Cobra too. I think she likes the power as well. So the clutch right now is feeling fine. It was when I was really beating on it that it started to smell. So we gotta go back to LegitStreetCars and fix this. Good job, babe. Woo! Just like that, the Cobra is back at LegitStreetCars, and I'm ready to work. This will make sense later, but we're doing a rear cylinder head mod that requires me to remove the whole transmission. Oh yeah, early 2000s Ford. So I'm gonna start by removing the shifter, 2 bolts. Last bolt, she's out. Underneath the car, I'm just disconnecting all of the electrical connectors, so this whole harness right here can swing out of our way, so we can take our nice T56 out of here. I also pulled the wire for the trans temperature sensor. And on my way to the lake house, I was able to record the transmission temperature. It's about 210 in stop and go traffic. So I was actually surprised. I'd never thought about how hot manual transmission fluid gets, but in some cases that's hotter than auto trans fluid. Anyway, we got to take out the entire exhaust system pretty much here because it gets in the way of the trans and the drive shaft. It has a drive shaft loop and we need to take that out. I've hung this up. We're going to do this first. I sprayed it down. And surprisingly, this stuff's not that bad. It's low miles. A little rusty, but I've seen worse. All right, we're gonna break it free at the collectors. Not bad. Okay. This side broke free as well. Like butter. Nickname for the Cobra, I think, is gonna be Liquid Butter, at least in the Palmieri family household. My son called it the Liquid Metal Terminator, and my wife just wanted to name it Butter because it's yellow. Equalizer X-pipe patent pending. It's been 20 years. I wonder if they got the patent. Little shimmy sham. You've been equalized. For the back, we have some hangers, and these hanger tools are pretty sweet. There we go. The tool's stuck. I'm actually gonna cut this off right now. These are separate pieces here, and they're being held together by this. All right, we gotta unravel. Road race life right here. They've been disconnected. They were conjoined at birth. Slide this out like that. The Sony exhaust coming out. You know what's crazy? This thing has like no rubber in the back. So like definitely wasn't a drag car. Okay. Sweet, divide and conquer. All right, we have no exhaust on our Mustang. Going around removing all the drive shaft bolts. There we go, last one. There we go. All right, she's coming out. Sweet. This is a very light, nice aluminum drive shaft. I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's factory. It's a popular upgrade though when you have a steel drive shaft is aluminum. And you can go like this, but even if you have weak muscles because they're really light. Putting this in the pile next to the TA. I'm sorry, buddy. I will be back on you soon, don't worry. Caw-caw, caw-caw. The Firebird and the Cobra, they fight. Let's go ahead and get this trans mount off. And now for these guys. Going around removing all of the transmission bolts, crack them loose. Some of them require a really long extension. I think I got this one on top. Okay, 2 more at the bottom. Shallow would have been useful. Here, get out of here. Did I learn from my lesson? Yeah, I did. Oh, much nicer. So this is the clutch fork, and we need to disconnect the cable, so we'll pry it in like that. Really nice and easy. A little clip. Oh my gosh. And this slides right through. You can get through there. Boy. There we go. Okay. I think we are disconnected on the trans side. All right, she's separated. So what are we gonna find in here? I'm so curious on the clutch. It's probably stock, I don't know. Oh, we got trans fluid. Hit my arm. It's hitting the shifter right now. Oh, we do have an aftermarket shifter though. Yeah, someone replaced that. Cool. Does feel good. There we are. Woo! Going down with the Cobra transmission. I'm excited to look at this and show you guys that this has just a regular cable throwout bearing, not hydraulic. Kind of weird. All right, she's coming down. What is in there? Gosh, I gotta say that looked pretty stock to me, guys. Yeah, I mean, this thing is modified, and you know, I'm probably gonna end up modifying it some more at some point, so we should probably replace the clutch. But that's not really the main reason why I'm taking this trans out. It's because we need to link the back of the cylinder heads, which we'll get to here in a minute. Let's get the bell housing out of here. And the clutch. Looks like we got a Ford logo. She looks pretty stock. We're removing all the bell housing bolts next. Now this should just pry away. Come on, come on, come on. It's coming out. I have to remove the starter for the bell housing. And can't see much, but it is a pain, total pain in the butt. Another reason why the LS is better. I like this engine a lot. It's much harder to work on. Like the LS is just easy. This is not easy. So now we should be able to get this bell housing out. A little pry bar action. More cowbell.
I could have used a little more cowbell.
Oh, she's loose, just stuck on the dowel on this side. God, man, this dowel is the most stuck dowel I've ever had. Oh, gotcha. Woo! All right, get out of here, bell housing. Oh, yeah. This guy right here was not happy. We're gonna be working on this transmission a little bit later in the video. It's kind of in my way. That's no problem though. Just pick this up, place it on the table, just like that. I gotta say, I just turned 41 and I feel fantastic. I've been working on core strength for lower back pains and eating these, the Groons gummies. They're so good. They come in this little convenient pouch. Oh my God, these things are so good. So this isn't a multivitamin. It's not just a greens gummy. It's literally all of that into one. And it's a delicious snack. I cannot get enough. You get a few of these little green gummies in each pack because they can't just fit all of this stuff into one. And so this is a convenient and very affordable way to make sure you're eating super clean ingredients that are gonna keep you healthy. This is also vegan, gluten-free, nut-free, dairy-free, no artificial colors or flavors. I can't tell you how good these things are. They say you just need 1 pack a day, but I've been eating more. And so these are gonna help you out with gut health, energy, immunity, recovery, beauty, and the list goes on. All you have to do is eat 1 of these packs a day. Did I tell you how good they are? Groons is also very comprehensive and accurately dosed. So you'll see here, you're gonna get 100% of your major vitamins, 25% of your minerals, and this is a big one. A lot of people don't get enough dietary fiber. You're gonna get 6 grams in just 1 snack pack. Health has become a very important part of my life, and Groons just makes it so easy to make sure I'm getting all of the good stuff every single day. And if you guys want to try this out, you can click on my link down below and save up to 52%. So this is limited. Act fast, click on the link down below. Man, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about how delicious these are. I've never had something taste so good that's just so good for you. Anyway, check it out, link down below. Let's go ahead and remove this pressure plate. 2 bolts all the way around. Stay, stay, stay. I got them all. I got some dowel pins here holding it in, that's good. Pry bar action, never hurt anybody. There we go. 1 more dowel. Okay, that's out. Where's the clutch? Where's the clutch? There she is. Factory clutch right here. Yeah, it doesn't look horrible. You know, it's definitely used. Not bad. I've seen worse. Aha, but here we go. heat spots like crazy. So the clutch was gripping from the little tests that I did, but starting to smell and definitely heat up. Look at that. Yeah, same thing on the pressure plate. Okay, cool. I'm all about it. This does look factory. Yep, it's got the old Ford stamp there, engine side. You done good, boy, you done good. Little fist bump, respect. Let's get this flywheel off next. Last bolt. Oh, we got a little spacer in here. Cool. Gotta hold this so it doesn't fall. Love taps? There we go, love taps. All right. Oh, it's light. I'll tell you that much. It is stamped Ford. Someone kind of etched that in by hand. It's very light. Yeah, is this a factory aluminum flywheel? Looks like it. Wow. Good job, Cobra. That's pretty sweet. Doesn't look like the rear main seal is leaking, but we will replace that. Right now, though, I want to tackle something that caused some issues on these engines, which is cylinder head cooling in the rear. As you can see, we have a coolant pipe going to this side, and this side just has a freeze plug. And the rear cylinders usually run the hottest on pretty much every engine. And the issue here is that if those cylinders are running hotter than the rest and you're tuning based off of one O2 sensor, usually one wideband sensor, you're not individually probed as far as wideband or heat, you could see a decent number, but those back cylinders could be a little bit hotter than the rest. And we don't want that. We don't want them to melt. So I've already drained the coolant. What we need to do next is pop out this freeze plug, but we have this factory EGR tube in the way, so let's get it out of the way. All right, here we go. Oh, what? Oh my gosh, that's easy. These always get stuck, but not on a 13,000 mile Cobra. This thing has 13,000 miles now because I drove it to Lake Garage. Anyway, let's take this. Okay, yeah, that should be good. We don't really need to disconnect it much more than this. That'll give us enough room, I think. All right, to remove a freeze plug, you just need a little bit of violence in the form of a hammer and a chisel. Okay. I swear we drained. There's always some, but we knocked it out. Now we just gotta pull it out all the way like that. And then we just need a little bit of pliers in here. Get it right out. Get it right out. Get out. Ah, I gotcha. Hey, actually it's in pretty good shape. Yeah, usually you destroy these things to get them out. You poke a hole in them and you twist them up and everything, but I'm just gonna chalk it up to low mileage. I don't know. So here is the inside of a coolant jacket of our engine. It is clean. This is just from the freeze plug, so the seal, get rid of all that stuff, get out, don't get in my engine. It's so nice working on a low mileage car. Look at this engine. Check out some of the bolts we're dealing with here, people. They're so nice. These are the parts that we're gonna use with the freeze plug out. So as you can imagine, this is now gonna replace the freeze plug, and I really like this piece. It comes with 3 O-rings, and then this is gonna go on the passenger side, and we have really nice fittings and hoses. The Hannibal Lecter mask is on, which means we must cut. We need this hole in order to bolt in one of our fittings, and this bracket's in the way. It's got a bolt right here. This is very over bracketed, if that's a real word, I don't know. So we're just gonna chop it. There we go. Well, you guys probably saw this before I did. I mean, obviously if I saw it, I would have stopped, but I cut the EGR tube. Kind of stinks, but we do have multiple welders here at LegitStreetCars. They don't really ever get used, but they're gonna be used now. All right, we got Liam in the house. He's gonna try and TIG this thing. You can do it. There we go, there we go. The welding, it's not going too hot. It's literally too hot. It's kind of burning through, so wow, we're getting lucky here with the CGR too. We gotta remove it no matter what, whether we're gonna replace it or try and weld it again. Hopefully it's not too hard to snake out, but man, I gotta say, I feel dumb. I was looking at that thing, I'm like, don't cut that. And I didn't think I was on it, but I was. Biggest mistake of my life. All right, well, this is like the easiest EGR tube ever. I might just replace it, I don't know. Yeah, that's what happens when metal is really thin. It just blows right through. But you guys wanna see something even crazier than that? This thing's already been welded. Look at this. I don't think that's factory. Like, they even ground it down in some areas. That's weird. With the EGR out of the way, it's a good time to install this guy. But you know, with these triple O-rings, we gotta get some MB sunroof grease on there. It's the only way this could possibly ever successfully work. Duh. Hang on, I'm getting ahead of myself here. We have to remove this guy. Ugh. Quarter drive, it's the only one that fits in. There we go. And we just have 2 bolts to remove. And there's that. Oh, kind of stuck. Come on, little buddy. Yes, it's coming out. Was this triple O-ringed also? Ah! Where's all this water coming from? Oh my gosh. Cleaning the floor up. Get away from the tools. Get away, get away, get away. All right, there's this. Had to loosen up the clamp up there. Oh, single O-ring, what? Just used some miraculous Ford goop in there to make it seal, I guess. I'm just kidding, the O-ring probably did it all. We'll get this stuff out of here. So now we can get our barb fitting into this factory hose like so. I'm utilizing the factory clamp here. And now we can go ahead and install this. Reposition this thing. Should go right about there, push it right in. Okay, sweet, that was easy. They do give you different bolts for this, so go in with that, twist it around, and thread it in. Ooh, this little tool I got, it's coming in clutch right now. No pun intended. And check out the new clutch that just came in from McLeod. We'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, this little guy is sweet. All right, a couple little Alex thumb clicks. Click, click, clack. Another one. Click. Passenger side's all done. Now we just have to route this over yonder. All right, there we go. Nice and tight. All right. Cylinder head mod is done. So now the back of both cylinders are gonna get fed coolant, and hopefully it'll save this driver's side head. That's always the one that goes bad. Before our sweet new clutch, we're gonna do a couple of while you're in there's, including a rear main seal and the pilot bearing, although both of these are in excellent condition because they have like 13,000 miles on them. We have the trans out. So we changed the oil in the last video. I'm gonna drain some of it into a 2% organic milk container. All right, oil coming out. Still looks minty fresh. I just drained most of the oil, and most of the time you don't even really need to do that. It just depends where the oil level is gonna be. Like here's the oil pan, it'll probably be okay, but easy steps so you don't make a mess. And something I wanted to point out when you're doing a rear main seal is pay attention to how far in this goes. That way you make sure to set yours exactly the way it was. All right, with these rear mains, a couple love taps with a hammer. You can kind of poke through it. You can use a little pry bar if you want as well. Just kind of pluck it out of here. Pluck. Look, it's a feisty one. Aha, don't fight it, rear main. Get out of here. All right, just gotta go around. There we go. Okay, here's our rear main. Possibly part of it. What we actually pulled out was not the rear main seal. This is called a slinger or a baffle, and it basically goes over the actual rear main seal. So this is our new one, and you can see the old one right here. A lot of people leave these out. I actually don't even see a listing for this anymore. It's more or less like a dust shield if it's on the outside, and it's supposed to kind of hold the seal in better. It's very debated online whether they're needed or not. I'll keep looking for one, but when you remove them, sometimes they get kind of mangled, so I don't think that's any good either. But let's get this rear main seal out. Since the seal is going to be recessed into the crank, we're taking a quick measurement, a little over 10 millimeters, and that's how deep the new one will need to go in. If your rear main seal is recessed in like this, they can be a pain in the butt to get out, but let me show you a little trick. We're going to use a center punch, like so, and a very small drill bit. Drill right through the seal. Then we're going to take a sheet metal screw, just drill it in a little bit until it bites. That's probably good right there. With our screw installed, we're going to use some pliers now, and just kind of pry it. There we go. Yeah, we got it. All right, sweet. It's fantastic. We got it out. Before we get our new rear main seal in, and just in case we need to get violent with heat and stuff, we are gonna remove this pilot bearing now. But before violence commences, we're just gonna try the proper tool. So these two little arms are gonna fit right inside. So once the little teeth go inside of your bearing, we just tighten it down and those will spread out to grip the inside. And now when we turn this nut, it'll pull this out. So we'll just keep on turning it. Gonna come slow in the beginning. Come on now. All right, it's currently is not working out. It did not grip very well and kind of mangled it up. I've got the tool set back up nice and tight. I'm gonna heat up the outside diameter, basically where this slides into the crankshaft, so hopefully we'll expand that out a little bit. All right, this guy is starting to come out now. Come on, dude. No, nope, just getting more mangled. Great. I just pulled out all the bearings, so hopefully now we can grab onto the inner race. I think the bearings were just falling apart. All right, we get this set up without the bearing inside. It is gripping much better. You can see it kind of coming out there. Slowly but surely. Oh, it's coming out real nice. Perfect. Okay. It's out. It's out. Totally didn't fall or anything. I just placed it on the ground gently. But here she is, our bearing's out. All right, here we are. We'll clean this up a little bit. Looking good, feeling good. All right, now we have to go into the LegitStreetCars freezer for our new part. Right here, she's frozen. Using a good quality new bearing made in the USA. Because we froze it, it is slightly smaller, should fit in much easier. A couple love taps with a mallet. It's already going in. Freezing makes a big difference. And now we have our seal / bearing driver. All right, we're done. It feels perfect. A couple love taps for the kids. Oh yeah. Next is our new rear main seal. It comes pre-lubricated, and sometimes they give you a white plastic tool to help roll this lip around the crank, but sometimes they don't. And you kind of got to do one of those. I like to use this tool here, which I don't know what it's called. It removes O-rings really nicely. It does a lot of things. And we'll just kind of go around and make sure this is fitting around the crank nice and nice, like that. With the screw removed from our old rear main, we can flip it around and use this as a tool with a nice clean block of wood. It totally doesn't have RTV on it for some weird reason. This will help us get it in there nice and centered. All right, she's going in. I think this is pretty flush right now, so we'll go around, double check. 10.89, 10.82. You don't have to be spot on, but that's really good. So that is done. Rear main's done. Our pilot bearing is done. We're moving on, people. We're moving on to new shiny parts. If you guys saw my series on putting that sweet Magnum F T56 transmission in my turbo Trans Am, you know that I love the McLeod clutches. So I went with another twin disc. This is their RST line, and this is the pressure plate. We have a brand new flywheel, and you can see we have one clutch disc and two clutch discs. So the big benefit of the dual clutch is surface area. We're gonna have double the surface area, so this clutch will be able to hold about 800 horsepower, but our pedal feel will be the same. You don't have to apply any more force. If anything, this might feel lighter than stock. It really is the best of all worlds getting a twin disc, especially from McLeod, because they have these things down perfectly. When I drive the Trans Am, it feels 100% stock, but the clutch in that one will hold even more horsepower. We went with a beefier unit than this, 1200 horsepower. So McLeod has really anything you need. I'll drop a link. They're awesome. The guys over there are really fun to talk to. They're real car guys. Our first step is to install our beautiful new flywheel. All right, shiny new flywheel going on. And let's get a bolt in here just to hold it. And I didn't go back together with the slinger. This thing is destroyed. I could not find a new one anywhere. I read online that the rear main seals have been revised to not need the slinger. On my SVT Lightning, it originally had this. I couldn't find it for that either. No leaks whatsoever. So we're going without it. I mean, the rear main should do its job in holding the oil in there. Now we are going to use ARP bolts to hold in our flywheel. ARP sells a special fastener assembly lubricant. And what you want to do is put this on the back side of the head of the bolt. This is going to reduce friction when torquing. And you don't need that much. That's good right there. We'll save the rest for the next bolt. And then we're also going to use Loctite. So this is going to go on the threads. And you're not mixing the two together. This is going to make sure it stays in there. And this is going to make sure it's torqued properly. So now we can put this one in and pull this out. This is just a placeholder. I had like a temp job, but he's going back in like now. With all of these hand tight, we're going to do two passes. One's going to be 35 foot-pounds. And we're going to do a crisscross pattern. Our final pass is going to be 70 foot-pounds. All right, and then more cowbell. I'm going to mark these so we don't forget, and then we'll keep going with the crisscross. Little marking mark. With our white marks all the way around, we are done. And because I'm a child, I'm going to draw a little smiley face in here. And we're going to nickname him Fred. I don't know why. Fred loves Fords. I'm going to give him some like Halloween teeth. I'm Fred. Let's give him a head. There's my head and my hair. Let's do a little Ford and a little blue oval. There we go. That's my artwork, people. I did fail art. Actually, the teacher passed me because they didn't want to fill out any paperwork, but I should have failed art. All right, well, hang on. I might have to ruin some of this. I got some brake clean and a rag. You just have to clean up the flywheel here. Fred, you're totally losing your hair, bro. Sorry. Yeah, Fred's bald. Fred's bald now, but he still likes his Ford. It is time for our first clutch disc. These are labeled. So we have the bottom disc, and then if you flip it over, it says flywheel side. So this one's gonna go first. And look at the quality tool that McLeod gives you. This is amazing. So this is gonna be our clutch alignment tool. We're gonna go ahead and spline the teeth like that. And then this end right here is specifically designed for our new pilot bearing. So that's gonna slide in like that. Bottom this out all the way, and that's gonna hold our clutch in perfect alignment. Next is this beautiful piece, the adapter ring with the floater. This can go on a few different ways, so you just have to line it up with the holes in the flywheel. And so it'll only work one way, and there are dowels. I think I got it. Yeah, that should be it. Just gonna start a bolt right here and one up top just to make sure we have this perfectly lined up. With that holding it in, we can see the rest of the bolts are lined up, and so are the dowels. There's one there, we have one up there, and one right here. Make a mark where the dowels are, and now we're just gonna remove this. Included in the kit are 3 dowels that look just like this. This is literally one of them. Bigger side's gonna go in the flywheel. I hammered in all the dowels, so that's all set. So now it's time for this adapter, and I just wanna show you something that I messed up on. Each one of these studs has a few shims. You can see right here, they come off, and looks like there's a total of 2 on each. When I put this down, I didn't notice that, and I actually put it down the other way on the studs, and they all fell out. I'm like, oh man, was this like perfectly balanced and aligned? And I emailed McLeod and they saved me here. Basically, each one of these is gonna have 2. One is thin and one is thick. And as long as they turn out to be about 35 thousandths each, you're good to go. So disaster averted there. 35 thousandths worth of shim on each stud. It may be different, so just don't flip yours over. Just leave it alone. All right, now with our super awesome alignment tool, we can go back together with our clutch disc. Like like so. Now that we have our dowels in, we can do our final installation of the adapter. There's 3 dowels, so you're probably gonna give it just a wee bit of persuasion. These little washers are gonna fly off on you. 35 thousandths, people, 35. I gave these bolts the same treatment with the Loctite and the Moly Lube. Tighten them to 45, and I'm holding the crank as well. There we go. Before our second and final friction goes on, we're just gonna brake clean this surface here. And this says top side and flywheel side, so it goes on like that. Come on now. There we go. Love this aluminum tool. Now, if you see here, there is a blue line here and a blue line here. All that has to line up, and this is the pressure plate going on. Next, we have a lock washer and then a nut, and we're not using Loctite per the instructions, so that's it. It's going on dry. McLeod gives you the best colored instructions ever. I hate when I get aftermarket parts with no instructions. I mean, they give you the torque specs, they give you everything, even the star pattern in their specific sequence. That's really nice. So right now we are drawing these in. So we went 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So we're basically just gonna get these to bottom out, just going around nice and even. All right, once they bottom out, now we're gonna go 25 foot-pounds, star pattern. All right, we'll keep going. All right, I went around at 25, and now our final is 35, not much more. With everything torqued, we can remove the most beautiful clutch alignment tool in the world. And you get to keep this like it's yours. It goes in your toolbox. It's so nice. That's it, guys. That's it. Well, actually, I mean, the next step is technically taking a straight edge to make sure that these fingers are below the pressure plate, which I don't really need a straight edge. I got a straight hand. They're definitely below, so we're all set. Everything seems even. And we have successfully installed a twin disc clutch on my 2003 Cobra with 13,000 miles. I never have low mileage cars, so I have to just keep telling myself that. With the clutch done, we have to do a little bit of internal transmission work, just a little bit. So this is a T56 transmission. The T56 was used a lot, so 4th gen Camaros, Corvettes, and Mustangs. But one of the weirdest things they did to the 0304 Cobra was only use a 10 spline input shaft when a much stronger 26 spline input shaft was available. So this is what we're going to be installing inside of our transmission, and a sweet little short throw shifter. So even the LT1 Trans Ams that came out in the 90s, some of them had the 26 spline. All the LS1 cars, again, came out in 98 on those. This came out in 03, and they went backwards. Makes no sense. And these cars had way more horsepower and torque. Ford, what are you doing? Did you get a good deal on 10 splines that were all left over? And they're like, come on, it fell off a truck. I'll give them to you, 10 bucks each. Anyway, while we're in there doing a better clutch, we got to get rid of this. First step to this job is we need to get our clutch fork out of the way. And for that, we're actually just going to pull down like that. And then this will slide right off. We will be replacing the throwout bearing, even though it's okay. Now we have a few bolts to remove. I did drain the trans, but we'll probably lose some fluid. With the bolts out, we can use a mallet now. This is sealed with RTV, so it might be kind of stuck. There we go. All right, perfect. This is a little shimmy sham, and I'll hold this input shaft in there while we take this cover off. Everything doesn't just fall right out. Okay. What do we got? Ooh, the internal workings of our transmission. Cool. All right, so this is what we're replacing. We have a blocker ring here that is gonna stay with the transmission, so we'll just gently pull this out. All right, perfect. Okay, see, this blocker wants to fly out of there. Stay in, blocker. Okay, she's coming out for now. And here we go. Here is our old input shaft with our gear. We can take a look at the teeth here that mesh into the synchros. Actually looking pretty good. Gears look great. Bearing does too. It's in good shape, but we're replacing it. Bye-bye. Here you can see our new 26 spline versus the 10 spline. And other than that, they should be identical in every way. So there's a few companies that sell this as an upgrade kit with the bearing on there and everything. It's really nice. But there are shims involved here. We do have to take some measurements. And that measurement would be from the bearing down 2.825. We're hoping this is the same. 2.826. Okay, wow, that's pretty close. So on a new shaft, this bearing is gonna meet up with this race, of which we have a new one. It takes a little bit of persuasion, but you can actually remove this race by hand. Just gotta get it just right. It's almost out. Come on. There should be a shim here, unless Ford was perfect. Sometimes you gotta tap it back in, just get it perfect. Come on, get out. Oh, I think I got it. I got a little shimmy. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Yeah, we got it. All right, so also in excellent condition. We could probably reuse this, but we got a new one. And yes, here is our shim. If you guys didn't see some of my engine building videos, just a little refresher. I like to write things down and remind myself as well, but we have ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. So the difference between these two is 1/1000th of an inch. A piece of hair is like 4/1000ths of an inch. It's a tiny, tiny amount. Bearing clearance on an engine is usually 2 to 3/1000ths. And I did buy a shim kit so we can adjust this, but most of these shims are like 30-something thousandths of an inch, so too much of an adjustment. End play spec is 0 to 2/1000ths of an inch, so this is perfect. We're gonna go back together with the original shim. We should be fine. Before we go back together, we're gonna replace the input shaft seal. Should just pop out right. Okay, that was easy. All right, that just sits right in there. Give it a cleaning, and we have our brand new seal. We'll place it in like so. And with our seal driver, give it some love taps. Bam. She's in. Next, we're gonna clean up the old RTV. This stuff is coming off pretty easily. No real need to use any power tools here. Look at that, that's nice. With our transmission cases cleaned up, we can start to reassemble. So original shim going back in, and then we'll get a little bit of trans fluid all the way around our race just to get it to go in easy. And then we can slide this in. So this part doesn't require a press or anything. It's just a really tight fit, but you should be able to get it in by hand. Maybe a couple little love taps, just little ones. There you go, it's going down. It's nice and easy, don't force it. All right, this will sit right back down on the shim. You should be able to spin this freely so it's not bound up or anything. New seal, we're good. We're gonna reinstall our blocker ring. All the synchro material I can see looks really good. This only goes on one way. There we go, fits in like that. Stay, just doesn't like to stay. That's its thing. Now we can install our new input shaft. Just kind of hold everything together like that. Perfect. And we're temporarily gonna install this without any RTV. I wanna take one final measurement. Okay, a little shimming is required here. There's quite a few things to line up. There we go. Yeah, but you don't have to use a hammer to get these two together. That should be that easy. Everything is spinning nice. Let's get some bolts in here and I'll show you our last measurement. So with all the bolts tightened up, we have a dial indicator. This is a cool one. It comes with a vice grip because this is an aluminum case. So a lot of these come with magnets, but there's nothing to stick it to. But anyway, what we're checking here is the end play, and it's gonna be 0 to 2/1000ths. So we're moving this back and forth to see if this moves, and I think we're good. It's not moving at all. We also have to feel how it spins as well, and that feels just like before. With our final measurement complete, we can lay down our RTV for final installation. And there wasn't a whole lot on here, so we're gonna go back together just like Ford did. Exactly like Ford. Can I write Ford in here? No, I can't, that'd be too tough. Bolts are back in and tight. We are all sealed up with our RTV. Looking good, spins nice. And let's swap out this throw-out bearing. Really easy, literally just slides right out. And our new one, there we go, slides right back in. I'm gonna put a little bit of grease here on this sleeve where the throw-out bearing is gonna ride, and some right here on this pivot ball. And now we can go back together with our throw-out bearing assembly. There we go. All right, we're all done. New throw-out, everything's looking good. And this transmission does have a Hirsch shifter already, but I got the STX from Silver Sport Transmission. This one is supposed to be really short and feel great. This one puts the shifter in a really weird position. It's like too close to the radio. I don't like it. So it's just 4 bolts to remove this shifter. All right, love tap, just sealed with RTV. You know what, I'm gonna install the new shifter once this transmission's in the car. It'll make it easier to install the transmission. You could totally do your shifter without removing your transmission. It's literally gonna be right there with the 4 bolts. So that is almost ready to go in. I didn't forget about the old EGR, which oddly was welded at some point in time in its life, and was welded yet again. So Liam blew through it, but he was able to find a piece of exhaust in the shop and patched it. Well, I struggled a lot to get this EGR tube on. I don't recommend you do what I did by forcing this on. If you want, there are a few other kits online that claim to do the same thing and actually fit the EGR. This one is for no EGR. So if you want to save your EGR tube, don't get the kit I did. It seriously took an hour of us bending with a pry bar. It's horrible. I don't recommend that. It's time for our bell housing to go back in. Like that. Okay, I think we're lined up with our dowel. Oh yeah, that's in. All right, go side to side. Bell housing's all tightened up. I'm gonna go ahead and put this horrible, horrible starter in now. Okay, there's that. All right, here we go, people. Cobra transmission going in. Oh my gosh, it's only been like 3 days, but I already cannot wait to drive this again with this new clutch. Come on in, buddy. She is in there, let's see. Oh yeah, very nice. That was really easy. This is why it helps to not have the shifter in. We were hitting the floor before. Take your shifter out, guys. It'll make your life a lot easier. There we go. It's time to put our shifter cable back in, so we have to pry just to get the cable to go in. There we go, cool. Now hold itself, and then we just have a clip here. Okay, that is hooked up, and we can reinstall this little cover. Just as one little screw right here. Now we can tighten up this little screw. Our inspection cover is back on. Now we can start plugging in our electrical connectors. Right there. Cross member going in. It's a little guy. Just gotta jack up the trans a little. There we go. Nice looking trans cross member, not gonna lie. Jealous. I've got all of these on my Trans Am stripped out for me taking it in and out a million times. Ford gives you a replaceable little piece here with the nut end built in. That's nice. Tighten this guy up. Now we can release the jack. Let her down. She's being held in by her own contraptions or force or something. Kind of at a loss of words. Being held in by its own mounts. That's what I mean. It is big aluminum drive shaft time. Whoop. Go around this way through our drive shaft loop. And get this splined in. Get in there. There we go. Perfect. Tighten these guys up. These are all tight, and yeah, we are gonna get rid of the nitrous kit in this video. Let's finish up the trans. This stuff's gotta go. That makes no sense on this car, like at all. Next, we can install our new shifter from Silver Sport Transmissions, and we just gotta get a little bit RTV right on the top like that. Here we go, holding the camera and totally doing a straight, not shaky line at all. All right, hang on. I'm putting the camera down for a minute. All right, that's slightly better. Now we can install our shifter just like this. There we go, fits right on. Perfect. Oh, I can't wait to drive this car. Tighten up the bolts. There you go. Oh, the throw is so short, guys. Yes. Oh man, that feels good. This is gonna be sweet. Get our rubber boot back on. Sweet. Okay, perfect. And that lines up right there. Time to install our shift knob and the boot and the whole assembly here. And a boot. All right, tightening up these two side bolts. All right, click. And now we can get our interior trim back together. It's an early 2000s / built in the 90s Ford, so this just all snaps together. Oh, yes. Are you kidding me? Oh, this is mint, guys. This is mint. Sometimes a lot of this has to do with the shifter handle itself, but this shifter positioned it perfectly before. This was like almost touching the radio button in first gear. Was crazy, but now we're good. I just gotta tighten up this shifter ball, but that is mint. I love it. Wow. I'll leave you guys a link to the Silver Sport shifter. It is amazing. And those guys sell every transmission part you could ever need, especially for swaps. Now's as good of a time as any to fill up our transmission with automatic transmission fluid. Yes, that is correct. Dextron 3, that is what this transmission calls for. I've made a few videos on the T56 transmission taking this, and I pointed out that it literally is a sticker on it. I still get comments of people asking why I'm putting automatic transmission fluid in a manual. It's what it calls for. It's not my fault. So I'm using a fluid transfer pump to, well, transfer the fluid. That's what it does. I wish everything was just named by what it does. It's a transmission. It transmits power. That's a pretty good one. What are some other things that are basically named exactly what they do? Pump it up. Pump it up. Once it starts dribbling out, you are done. Before we install the exhaust, I want to replace the fuel filter. That's likely original. Kind of difficult to show you guys what's going on here while I'm working. There's no room. See, I put my hand in there. There's no room for anything. But anyway, I got the fuel line loose. All right, here she comes. Wow, this is definitely original. I think I literally just wiped away the proof of that. It said Motorcraft. Oh, wait, no, here we go. Here we go, Motorcraft right there. Let's see, can I wipe this away with gasoline hands? Yeah, that just disappears. Okay, yeah, this is the original. Wow, look at that, guys. That is nasty. Whoa, 22 years. Yeah, even on super low mileage cars, you gotta replace the fuel filter. That's really bad. You figure it's probably worse on a low mileage car because the gas is just sitting in here. This car was probably driven like 300 miles a year, if that, and it gets dirty. We're going back together with a brand new Motorcraft. Made in the USA. Water tested, okay. I haven't seen that on a fuel filter in forever. Is that new? Going in, made in the USA. Come on. It's time for exhaust. Should be pretty easy. It comes apart in a lot of places, which is nice. All right, we got muffler and tailpipe section on the driver's side going in. Over here. I have all the exhaust in place and loose so we can tighten it up now. I think we're done. Are we ready to start? I think we're ready to start. We are now officially ready to start this thing. I adjusted the clutch cable down there. If you guys saw in the last video, I had to put it to its max adjustment because the pedal was just like all the way up. So now we're reset. All right, let's fire this thing up. Oh, this feels so good. Oh my God, that gave me a heart attack. Static from the radio. We got a little exhaust leak. Something might not be tight. Okay, whatever. That's fine. We'll fix that. We have the technology. Let's put this thing into gear. right, awesome. Let me fix this exhaust leak, and then we gotta get rid of some nitrous, people. Just got reverse. Oh, I can't wait to get this shifter on the road. It's mint. Yes. Sounds good, even with a leak. From this clamp, yeah. Okay, we actually had to expand this out a little bit, and we added a bung for an eventual wideband. And I wonder if it's just kind of crushed a little bit. All right, honestly, I do think I'm gonna replace the exhaust. It sounds great, it's just a little crusty. I really like this car, I don't know, we'll see. I moved the clamp back a little bit, let's tighten it up. I adjusted the clamp, and I think it's good now. Guys, I love the sound. I love it. Before we go for a ride, I do want to remove the nitrous kit. We have to remove the nitrous line from underneath the car, and it goes right up here to the nitrous solenoid. Take that off, and hopefully just pull it out. All right, we're gonna pull this nitrous out. Get out of here. There we go. All right, that's that. I cut a bunch of zip ties already. Now we just gotta weave it in and out of places. All right, last spot. Be gone. 20-something-year-old nitrous line. We don't need you. We got a blower. Yeah, so we get the nozzles going in. This is a wet kit, so it has a separate fuel jet and a separate nitrous jet. The dry kit's where they just spray it right before the mass air, just the nitrous, and then that kind of adjusts for it. I'm just gonna go around in no particular order and just start removing stuff that doesn't look factory, like that, the nitrous nozzle. We're using a factory bolt here, so we can put that right back. This is cool. They have a fuel pressure switch here to deactivate the nitrous system in case fuel pressure gets low. That's a nice safety. We don't need it anymore though. Get out of here. Let's pop this line off first. I'll get a little fuel coming out. There we go. Fuel pressure safety switch. Thank you for protecting our engine. Oh, okay, strapped you. And now we can get this guy off. Okay. All right, this is coming out. There we go. Don't lose the nut. It's going right back. They used some factory hardware. I like that. I like it. This has got to be aftermarket. I wonder if they ported the blower. We could definitely find out. Let's do some more disassembly. I pulled that relay out, so that's being held in right here. All right, electrical stuff coming out. I just loosened up the lines going to the nozzle so we can remove those. All right. Oh, this is gonna be so nice. Look at all this stuff coming out. This is the full throttle switch. Here, bye-bye. Get out. I'm going around snipping. We're not gonna reuse any of this. Out. I think I've got most everything right here. All right, there we go. What jets are in this? Do I even want to know? I do want to know. I don't think this nitrous was used very much. The whole kit was just kind of hacked in here. There was no bottle. Who knows? I'm not finding any jets, although this nozzle itself might be the jet. I don't know. Let me know, nitrous guys. Was it just pre-drilled for something and you just replaced the whole thing? There's nothing in here. Like we took these out. There's nothing in there. That's where the jets would go. So I'm not exactly sure, but I know that I can make it into a box. That's a few feet away. Full throttle switch coming out next, and I believe we can get rid of this whole bracket too. I had to get a little creative on plugging up the fuel rail here. We couldn't find a Schrader valve that would fit. Now we have to pull this off. Oh, it hit the ground. That's one of the bolts for the bracket. Oh yeah, we got an AccuFab throttle body just like the Lightning. Look at this hacked up situation. These were the washers to make that fit. Yeah, goodbye. In the pile you go. All right, you know it wouldn't be a legit Street Cars video without bore scoping something. I want to see if this blower is ported because this is definitely an aftermarket throttle body and snout. For more power, did they port the supercharger? So now we are entering the supercharger. There we go. And typically if these are ported, you won't see all these little bumps here. Kind of hard to tell. It just depends where they ported it. Yeah, I think this is probably a stock blower. I'm in there pretty deep. And really, we'd probably want to be in over here as well and take the snout off and stuff like that. But probably just a stock blower with a pulley and the snout, which this adds some power for sure. We are officially nitrous free. Everything is back together. I am going to get probably an entire new intake to fix this. I just used a bolt for now and a washer. But yeah, much better without all that garbage over here. It's time, people. It's Cobra time. Woo! I've always wanted to say that. Oh, mint. What I thought was a fuel safety was for the gauge. Forgot this thing has a fuel pressure gauge. So both of these are disconnected. We'll be swapping those out at some point. Neither are needed. All right, let's see. 1 to 2. Mint. 3. Love the shifter. 4. Oh my gosh. This is it, guys. I'll link this shifter down below. It's so nice. I cannot beat on this car. So according to McLeod, we have to do 500 clutch cycles. So yeah, I'm in and out 500 times. I have no idea roughly how many miles that is. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I just went like a mile and I think I did like 20 clutch cycles. But anyway, speaking of the clutch, I cannot express to you how good this clutch feels. I knew this was gonna happen because I put one of these McLeod twin discs in my Turbo Trans Am, and it literally feels stock, but will hold at least double the power of stock, 800 horsepower for this one, and they have an even higher horsepower rated one. Oh, oh I can't go crazy, but I gotta give it clutch cycles. Oh my gosh, I wish you guys could feel this clutch, seriously. If you need a recommendation on the clutch and the shifter, definitely McLeod, Silver Sport. I'm a big fan. I met them at SEMA and they're super cool. Oh, this is gonna be tough. I am gonna drive this home today. I'm gonna drive it back to the shop tomorrow. I might drive it to the lake garage. I'm gonna be gentle. I'm gonna be gentle, I promise. Oh, oh. Oh, this is the best. I love this car. They're still so cool. I've been dreaming about having an 0304 Cobra since 2002 when they first came out. I mean, I did get my WS6, so ultimately that did win. I'm a big fan of like T-tops, and I just became more of an F-body guy. But now I'm kind of like becoming both. I don't know what I am anymore, guys. Like a hybrid of good things, good American cars. Oh. So in this video, we did a few mods that would allow the Cobra to withstand more horsepower. Best clutch ever, check. Upgraded input shaft, check. Cooling head mod, check. Can you guys list anything else that an 0304 Cobra would need before it gets just a little bit more horsepower? Because in the next video, you know we're doing some more modifications, both mechanical and cosmetic. I'm talking to you, V6 Mustang little honeycomb thing. That has got to go. I'm still torn on the stripes, guys. Let me know in the comment section. I do like these wheels, but we might do some with those. I got lots of ideas and some stuff that's gonna make for some more and big horsepower numbers, because I don't know about you guys, but I love the 0304 Terminator Cobra Mustang. And if you guys loved this video, consider giving it a like. Why doesn't YouTube have a love? They should have a love for the video. You can do it in the comment section. But anyway, give this video a like, and I hope you do love the video, and share the video with your friends, all your Mustang people out there. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what in the world are you doing? It's just a free little button down there, and it really helps me out. But most importantly, I hope each and every single one of you guys has the best day ever, and I will see you all in the next video. Hang on, one last shot of the Cobra before the music.